Hey, what's up, world? It's your boy Blue Gotti, and I'm bringing you that Blue Your Mind presents, where I take on different topics to discuss and just give my explanation and my perspective of, what I think things mean, and just give you a different outlook. One of the suggestions that we had was we had a lot of people that were straight and not in our world. They just wanted me to discuss labels and why we even use labels. I don't think that anybody should be labeled in our community, because at the end of the day, we all are gay. It's all one fight, black, white, whether you are film, stud, touch me not, pillow top princess, whether you're a top, bottom, butch, boy, girl, who knew that this could be so complicated just to be gay? But just to go ahead and give you some stereotypes, me, myself, I will be labeled as a stud because I choose to dress in male clothing. I do have dreads, as you can see. That's not typically a male thing because it's more so of our heritage now, but a lot of people are wearing dreads, but that's the tie to it. When you're a stud, you will also sometimes cut your hair. When you speaking to other studs, you may refer to yourself as he, you may say boy, or you may say man. That doesn't mean that you think that you are those things. That's just the terms that we use in this world. At the same time, when you're a stud, you're not really supposed to have feelings, I guess. But at the end of the day, we still are women. And when you're a stud, you're quote unquote supposed to be with a femme. And a femme is a real feminine woman, that still recognizes that she's a woman. Still dresses up, wear heels, get her hair done, get her nails done. You still got to take her out, treat her like a queen. It's a lot of things that she don't do. As far as they go, even with the labels, even take restrictions to what we can actually do in the bedroom, which is a totally different subject. But just give you the names that we go by. Is basically what I'm here to do. You also have what they call pillow top princesses, and these are the ones that are sometimes they're gay, but they'll go with what you call a touch me not stud or a butch, who's they don't want to be touched. They don't want to be they don't want to be made to feel like they're a woman. So a lot of times those are the ones that's gonna walk around with actually their actual strap on. For those who know what that is, they'll walk around with that on, and they actually live their life as men. So that's why they'll prefer touch me not, because she treats him as that. She never recognizes that she's a woman, meaning she'll never give her sexual preference, which I feel like that's unfair, because it's two of us, so why not? Can't everybody be pleased? But that's the situation with that. Now we do have what we call stems. Stems are in between a stud and a femme. That means that they're not totally all the way cross over to the stud side, where they wear men clothing. Every now and then they may still have their hair wrapped, they may get their toes done, they make their nails done. In actuality, there are some studs that still get their toes and nails done. I have no problem with that. I personally don't do it, just because I've never been one to get into that. But some studs do that. There's no problem with that at all. That's your own perfect preference. It shouldn't go back to being a label, like I discussed earlier. So when you do run up on a stem, they may have a quick weave, they may have micro braids. You just never know. But I have respect for them as well, because it's not a label. Don't think that I'm poking fun at anybody, because we're all gay at the end of the day. Now when you go over to our world, it's a lot more. You either got to be A, B, or C. You either got to be a butch, stud, or femme, or I even throw in D. You either got to be a STEM. So it kind of puts you in a hard spot, because you have to choose. And a lot of times you'll hear people say that I don't want to date femmes. I don't date femmes, I only date studs, and that comes from studs. Or you may hear femmes say I don't date studs, I only date femmes, or I prefer a STEM. It's just your own personal preference, but you should just fall in love with that person, But a lot of times we get caught on the label. Not only are we labeling ourselves, but we're going on the label. We're just a label conscious society at all, so we feel like everything needs a label. It's the same way with, gay men. You have your more masculine men, who sometimes referred to as your tops, and then you have your bottoms, who are more feminine. But at the same time, that's once again that's just a label. You know, you don't have to be one or the other. You have drag queens, you have, you know, we have all type of people in the gay and lesbian community. We have people that are transgendered, you know, that we show respect for, you know, that feel like they were born in the wrong body, and once again they are labeled. So, you know, in our community, you know, we have so many labels that you have to go on, and so many expectations that's set for the way you're supposed to act. But I mean, if everybody be themselves, we should all love each other. You know, so regardless if you're film for film, stud for stud, top for bottom, bottom for top, it should just be love for love. Because we have a bigger battle out there trying to fight for our rights than fighting within our community. I mean, we're split within our community by race and then by labels. So I mean, we're not really making progress. We're actually going backwards. So just for anybody out there, you know what I'm saying, that's watching this, that's unaware of what the word stud is, you know, it's just a term they use. You know, we don't like to be called dykes. You know, some do, some don't. I prefer not to. I mean, that's the same way if a Caucasian person will refer to me as a nigger or vice versa. You know, it's the same. It's the same way. So it's a term that puts us down, as well as the word faggot. I don't use that term. The only reason why I'm using it now is just to express to you guys that word as well, when it comes from someone else, that's a word that we don't like to be called. As far as I've heard all type of terms when people, you know, refer to me as bull dagger, bull dyker, butch, he, she, it. At the end of the day, I'm still a person. You know, my mother had me. My mother and my father created me, and I am God's child. So I really don't need no label. But before we as a community can ask the rest of the world to stop labeling us, we have to stop labeling ourselves. So I guess what I'm here to tell you guys is, you know, everybody love each other no matter what their preference is, no matter what you want to be labeled as. You're still a human being at the end of the day. We all still bleed the same in our community, whether we're straight or gay. So we just need to stop the labels. Just be yourself. There's nothing to it. I mean, other than just to being yourself. You know, don't be ashamed of who you are and what you stand for, because at the end of the day, you'll rather die for who you are than live for who you're not. And